A friend of us who is a Japanese guy who helped me to find that Yota in Japan who sold a lot of those cars to Japan. He called me one day and told me, Moritz, I got offered a car, a very rare car. It's in a museum in Japan. You can buy that car for maybe one of your customers for a collection. And I asked him, what car are we speaking about? And he said, yeah, it's very special. It's a Vector W8 in white. And I said, okay, that's very special. I hadn't much experience with the Vector. I knew what it is, but more from playing cards with my brother. It's nothing we owned in the past, so it was a new world for me. I have to tell you, I directly spoke in the group with my brother and our friend Matthew Ivanhoe what we can do with that offer. We had a long conversation about it. It's very special and so on. And really at that time, there was a black car which was sold or in the stock of Curated, and I saw some videos about it. I remembered some things of the Vector history and so on. But what I knew at that time is that every car I got offered from that Japanese guy in Germany, sometimes there is hopefully he will not see that video, sometimes there is a backstory, or sometimes it's hard. There is about he's a very nice guy. He's an old guy. I really like him, but sometimes it's hard to get the cars he offers you. So I asked him, who offered you the car? He said, yeah, it's a very good friend of mine. His name is Tochi Ueno. He's from California and he knows that car. And I asked him, okay, he sounds very Japanese and he lives in California. I said, yeah. He lives there. He's about 60 or in the middle of the 60s. You can call him directly and have a conversation with him about that car. Yeah, I gave him a call. I asked him, so you found that car? He said, no. I heard about it. I know somebody from East USA. Like, I don't remember the state, but he said, I heard about that car from somebody because he can get the car from Japan from the owner. I told my brother, man, it started to getting ridiculous and I'm exhausted of that cars and that offers. But I don't know why I had the motivation to go forward in that topic. And then I told them, okay, guys, I want to see that car. Yeah, fly over to Japan. You can see the car. They told me we can make an appointment for you. I said, okay, let's do that. I'm in Monterey for the car week, and after that I will fly over. First they told me I planned to go there 2 or 3 weeks before the Monterey car week. And then they told me, yeah, the owner is busy, he's out of country, it's impossible. And to hold it short, all of that was a lie. Everything. Because they had never contact with the owner. Then I flew over to Japan and my broker heard about that car as well. He heard about that this car might be for sale. He told me that he also heard about it, that the owner never wanted to do any deal with that California guy because he's in serious, he said. So if you want to do any deal, he will not involve that guy or he will cancel anything. And I said, okay, I don't care. I'm here. Let's try to go there. He said, yeah, but I don't know where it is either. And I said, okay, then we need to start the research. So I was in Japan and we knew around the area where the car was. And I told him, okay, we heard about it, that it's in any area outside of Tokyo. And we started to search the car with some details from a friend of my friend over there. And we needed like 1.5, 2 hours in one district. And there was a house. And I told him, man, that looks so, it's such an ugly house. But he said, it must be in this or the next street. And there was a car in the front yard, I would say, under a cover. At the end of the day, it was 2 or 3 covers. And I said, okay, that might be the car. Maybe we can ask here. And he said, okay, let me try if somebody's there. It's a very disrespectful thing just to go to the door, knock, and say hello in Japan. That's really something they don't like. Nobody was there. We left the place, go back to the hotel. I thought, okay, maybe we will not get in contact with the owner. He's a very busy guy. I don't know why. Next day, my friend called me and he said, man, I got a number. I have the number of the owner. We can call him. My friend found out who is the owner and we were right yesterday. There was a right place. He owns the car, and he was out of town, and he will come back today. And he said, okay, you can come if this customer is really right now in the country and it's a real person. He can come. That day we sit in the car, we started to that place. We arrived at his house and he came out. He was wearing a bathrobe and he looked, in my opinion, very normal guy. The area was quite normal for Japan, but there was just a car and it was outside. There was the roof over the car, but it was outside. Everybody could go there. We explained him the situation and he directly replied, okay, there were so many guys even from US and from Europe who asked me about that car. So I was exhausted to offer it. And at that moment, he decided he doesn't want to sell the car. This was the reason why he showed up the car to us, because he said, you are here, I can see you, we can have a conversation, that's easier for me. So he showed up the car was in, I would say, not the best condition. It was very dusty, very like there were some small rust, like the front headlight was falling down, so it wasn't the best Vector you could buy. But the inside of the car looked, I would say, like it was used, but in quite nice condition, and the engine as well. Just a little bit dusty, and that's it. And then I asked him about the story of that car, and he told me, yeah, man, there was a kind of an accident, how I get it. He used to do some business with the US, and he gave somebody a loan for any business that guy was running, and in the past, and he gave him a loan over, I think it was about $200,000 or $250,000 at that time, and he waited for his money for a while. He said it was in the beginning of the 90s. He tried to get his money back. After a while, he got the Vector as a security that he has something until the guy could pay him out. That was about, he told me, 20 years ago. Man, and the car was still on the bond. The car was never registered in Japan. The car had a US title. The car was just under temporary plates. That was a quite, I would say, like interesting story. I felt not good about it, but I told myself, okay, what happens? You will buy that car from your broker. If he buys the car from him in Japan, it will work. After that meeting, I saw the car. I made a lot of pictures. We had a conversation again with my brother and Matthew, Ivanhoe, and Matt had a customer for that car. We didn't expect that worth condition. I need to tell that. We didn't expect that worth condition because in my opinion, it was easy to refurbish it. But like that display they took out from that jet fighter, it was broken, so the car didn't run. He had an estimate over a new display from David Koska from California, who take care about many Vectors even now. He was a constructor at that time when Jared Weigert started that company. So he knows a lot about that cars. He made an estimate for that display. Or let's say that computer, but he never ordered it. And he said, the previous owner said, if I order it, I have no opportunity to replace it here because nobody has experience in Japan about that cars. The customer of Matt decided to not take the car because even we were a little bit scared about the work you have to do on the car. After a while, we spoke about that car and about the condition of the car. The customer decided to not take the car. At that time, I think it was about because that service you have to do, that you only have that one guy who can repair that cars. And as I understood right, he wanted to have something special, but maybe he bought something else. So we had that Vector, which is in Japan, which was in Japan. We wanted to sell that one, just to be a part of that deal. One day we had a nice rally with some Lamborghinis in Germany with some friends, and my dad he joined it with the Countach, my brother with his stick Murcielago. I had the supercharged SE30, and we had a great day. At the dinner, my brother was texting to a guy who is nowadays a good friend of us. To a guy he met him at the Countach rally. He has a Countach as well. And they were texting, and out of an accident, he told him, "Hey, you cannot imagine. My brother checked the Vector W8 last week or some weeks before, and we have that car for sale." And that guy answered, "That's cool. I maybe need that one. And my brother told me, can you imagine that he wants to buy that car? I said, why not? He's a perfect owner for those cars because he understands what it means to own a Vector. Only 17 cars, this was number 8, only 17 cars were built. And you know what is perfect for him? He lives in the state where David Koska is. So it's very easy for him to bring that car for servicing and everything to David Koska, who's the most experienced guy on earth in these cars. After a short time, he decided, guys, I want to buy that car. I was happy to close that deal, just to have a deal on the Vector. It was something very special for us as well. So we bought it for him and he bought it from us, and the car was directly shipped to the US. After a while, we had some conversation about that car, about the engine and everything. A Vector isn't that special car in kind of technique. It's, in my opinion, beside that jet computer you have in the car, the technique is very simple, I think. This is something what our friend told us as well. He said, man, it's not possible that only one guy can repair it. I think this guy has experience for the computer and everything, but the engine is something every workshop in US can repair it. So this is what I thought as well. And the car arrived, I think, 3 weeks later. He brought it to David Koska, and right now they're working on that. So the story wasn't finished because I think 3 or 4 weeks later, my brother received a call from somebody from Heidelberg in Germany, and that guy, my brother was in contact with him. I don't know why, but that guy was Jay Hall. And after I heard that name, I told myself, man, isn't that the guy John had a call with him about that black car? The guy who knew the founder of Vector from the past? I directly asked him, is that Jay Hall we spoke about in the past regarding the Vector and so on? And he said, yes, man. And he lives 1 hour from us. Let's meet him in Frankfurt for a coffee and we can discuss that topic. And after a while, we made an appointment with him and we met him there. He's a great guy. He's a very friendly, smart guy. We had a lot of stories we shared with each other. He told me, man, you crossed my deal. And I said, why? He said, I know every Vector on earth, every car. I know where it is. I know the owners. And I knew that car as well. And I tried to buy it for 2 years. And I said, really? Why you didn't buy it? And he said, because the owner it's hard to catch him, and I asked 2 people, and I know that he knows very, very popular people in Japan. They have a good reputation, and they told him, we don't want to close that deal for you, or it's very hard to close it. At the end of the day, he told me, man, the previous owner of that car was a very famous Yakuza. And I said, okay, that explains why he gave a loan to the US guys, and that car was never registered, and maybe in his front yard undercover that nobody knows about it, and so on, so on. And he explained me so many things about this car when it was on some exhibitions in Japan, and how it started with that deal he had on that car with the US guys, because he had done so much research on those cars. Amazing. I think with David Koska, he's the one who has the most experience on these cars. And this was a moment I thought, okay, that makes the story much cooler than I thought. So we directly gave a call to our friend, and hey, we told him, hey, can you imagine that car was owned by a Yakuza? And he said, really? We said, yes, man. The story isn't finished, because the whole backstory of that car is so big, and there are so many things you need to know about it. You have to come over. You have to meet Jay Hall. So we get them in touch. That even Jay knows him as an owner of a Vector, and he's very happy about it. So for now, our friend owns that car, and his idea, he really I trust in him that it's really his idea. He wants to drive that car daily, because it's an automatically car. The gearbox is very easy, he said, when it's running, why not? I think so he will try to do that, but maybe not every day. In case of that Vector deal, I will tell you, we were very proud of it, and I'm very happy that we found the right owner who will use it the right way. and who will take care of it, and who knows what kind of piece of history that car is.
Over the last 4 years, we've partnered with Glossit to show off some of their amazing detailing products, give you some great deals, and show how much they can transform any car. But did you know that Glossit University is also one of the most amazing online resources for education, mentorship, and coaching for whatever your business is in the detailing space? Whether you do paint correction, ceramic coating, PPF, wraps, anything like that, they can take your business to the next level. And right now, they're offering free 15-minute phone consultations where you can schedule at the link in the description below. Tell them about your goals, tell them about your business, about yourself, and really where you want to get to, and they'll show you if they're online courses, they're in-person classes where I'll actually be in their August class, or they're one-on-one or group mentorship programs with Rich Light from Glossit. It's an awesome way to take your business to that next level. So set up your phone consultation now, talk to them about where you're at today, and they'll tell you where you could be tomorrow.